Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Real Art Beats. I'm gonna show you a simple plugin in FL Studio to make your drums hit hard. A lot of people don't want you to know this information because they want to hold it to themselves. They don't want to educate nobody. They just want to be greedy and don't want to share the knowledge. Me, I figured it out myself, and now I'm gonna show you how to get them drums slapping in FL Studio. Okay, let's go. First thing I did was I made a simple pattern just as a backdrop for the drums. You know what I'm saying? So listen to the simple pattern. Boom. Now what I'm gonna do is put some hi-hats onto it. Now here's my hi-hat pattern. My hats are kind of low right here. So the trick, what I do is, and this is FL Studio 10 what I'm using right now. I don't use 11 or nothing like that because 10 works fine for me, and if it ain't broke, I don't fix it. So what I do is I go to options, general settings, and in general settings when it says advanced, I go and I click enable legacy pre-computed effects. Okay, and what that does is that leaves me legacy effects. Now down there is the hi-hat sample right here, and that little thing. My cursor might be off, I don't know, because the recording program that records my screen sometimes doesn't put everything exactly where it belongs. But what I'm going to do in my legacy effects is go to amp, and it's going to amplify the sound. Now listen to the difference. Okay, so now you hear the hi-hats a little harder. But it's not about the hi-hats, this tutorial. This is about the kicks and the snares, getting them bitches to hit hard, know what I mean? Like how your mama hit you when you come home with a bad report card. So what we're going to do is we're going to put everything on a separate track, and if you don't know how to do that, it's very simple. All you got to do is click all these boxes and make everything light up, right click, and then go to shit, what am I talking about? Oh, you right click on those boxes, my bad, wrong thing, I got confused. Then you would go here to one of these channels, and then you say link channel starting from this track, and it will send everything to separate tracks. So this is now the kicks. We got the kick and a snare pattern we're going to put up. Just a simple pattern. We're not trying to be fancy. This is just a tutorial. So what we will do is we will go to the kicks, to the kick, and let's single out the kick. Okay, you hear the kick. Now we're going to go to soft clipper, fruity soft clipper, and put the post up. We're going to boost it up, and what that's going to do is we're going to clip our drums to make them hit harder. But before we mix our beat, we're going to lower everything down so they're not clipping anymore. So you're going to actually take it to the top just to bring it back down a little bit, and what that's going to do is going to allow the drums to hit harder. But the first thing I will say, a disclaimer, you gotta have good drum samples. If you have some shitty drum samples, it's not gonna work for you. You need some good drum samples, and then you do this tactic and they will hit harder. Guarantee you. You want your drums hitting harder than anything in the beat to make your beats really bang, you know? So listen to the difference. Let's listen to the difference. Kick without the soft clipper. Now with the soft clipper. Okay, now let's EQ that real quick. Put a fruity EQ. Okay, big difference. Big difference between this and this. Now another little trick I like to do is with my drums, I like to go to where it says miscellaneous and put it in polyphony. Where it says polyphony, put it on 1, and what that does is it allows them not to step over each other, you know, so one sound don't overlap over the other one, because like that it sounds more cleaner, more clearer. Okay, so that's the kick. Now let's mess with the snare. Also another thing is when you go in your mixer, your mixer knobs is going to be straight up, and that what that does is that leaves the sound in stereo. When it's a kick or percussion or anything like that, you want to put them in mono, because those type of sounds are mono sounds, and if you don't know the difference between mono and stereo, Look it up on Google, because it's a long conversation, and it's better off left to those who wants to learn than for me to try to explain that in this video and drag this video on, because I like to keep it short and sweet. So we're going to separate them, and they'll stand out more in mono. Now with the snare, we're going to add the snare now. Snare's kind of weak. See that snare? It's weak. Now let's add the soft clipper. EQ that snare. Okay, got that snare. Now there's a free plugin I like to use. It's called KANYE FX Reverb, and what this does, it gives a nice reverb on whatever you wanted to put it on. So let's put it on the snare. You mess with the decay to put it as, you know, as much echo as you want on it. But I lowered the decay down, so I don't want it too echoey. I just want it just a little bit. Now let's listen to the snare, how it was and how it is now after I've added these effects. This is the snare before. Sounds boring. Now let's add my effects. Okay, so now the whole thing is that later on down the line when you mix, you're going to have to lower the kick and the snare because it's going to be too overpowering, you know. So that's the main thing you're going to have to do, because what you did is you stressed out these sounds, so now you got to bring them back down, you know what I mean. But this is just a simple tactic on how to get your drums hitting harder. You know, that's the whole point, to make the drums hit hard. It ain't about nothing else, and that's the point of this video. So let's listen to it now. It's everything. Okay, now let's listen to that without my effects. Now with my effects. And that's it, man. That's the basic tutorial. This is just one of the many. I hope you subscribe to my channel. I want to teach you. I want to keep growing with everybody. I love everybody. And I'm just trying to show people the things that I learn as I go along, because when I first started making beats 10 years ago, there was none of this. There was nobody showing you nothing. You had to figure it out, and you was on your own with it. So right now I'm just trying to, help people the same way I've been helped and the same way I learned. Each one teach one. And I just want to say thank you for everything. Thank you for watching my videos. 100 Real Art Beats.